This is live on Facebook.
It is live on Facebook and being recorded for the YouTube channel. My guest today, ladies and gentlemen, is part of the swag family, as I call them, because they have certain unique swag, just like the other badass that I mentioned on my podcast. Not only he taught at my very first festivals, I think he's one of the people that never missed SFIBF, which is a San Francisco Bachata Festival. Not only he taught, he DJs, he also MC, and probably he does even other things that I don't know about. Welcome, Vince Torres.
Hello, hello.
How are you, sir?
I am good. I'm blessed to be okay, healthy.
How's your kid doing?
He's amazing. He's great.
How do you feel like being a father now?
It's hard to say that I feel amazing, and it's hard to say that I feel like I can't wait to learn more and more, because there's some differences.
Learning process, isn't it?
it's a big process. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm ready for it all.
Cool. Let's see here.
How are you?
Well, pandemic, dude, it's just
yeah.
Sucks, man.
Of course. I know.
It just sucks. Everything sucks. But you guys are in LA have been trying to really restart the scene, right?
Yeah, certain people in LA have.
And but okay. Oh, I wanted to ask you this because you just went to. Pandemic. How come? Dude, it's just. So hold on.
If you're on Facebook, just mute it on Facebook.
Huh?
Just mute it on Facebook.
Everything sucks. Hold on. But you guys are getting some feedback here. Trying to. Hold on, guys. Restart the scene, right?
Yeah, certain people in LA have.
And but okay. Oh, I wanted to ask you this because you just went to. Pandemic.
You got it 3 times now. I did the same thing was happening to me, but I went to Facebook and then I muted it on Facebook.
Okay. Now I don't have it on my screen. You have it. So if there are any people asking you live their question, you can just ask. I don't have it right now because of the feedback, but I'm on recording with YouTube. That's for sure. Okay. Anyways, where were we? Oh yeah, you went to. You went to Arizona for some type of festival recently. How was that?
Man, if I could sum it up in a few words, I would say organized, monitored, and safe.
And define safe. What did they do when attendees enter the festival? What did they do?
So even before you attended the festival, there had to be a certain amount of tickets sold, obviously. Guy to girl ratio. The masks was you had to have a mask on all the time unless you were off the dance floor or with a certain group of people that you are been quarantined with.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the music we would stop the music after every certain amount of songs, and everybody had to go hand sanitize, stuff like that.
Interesting. I love it. Yeah. Okay, what else?
So you'd have to sanitize your hands, and then if you have a mask, if your mask starts to come out down here, so somebody, one of us, the DJ, somebody who's on the floor monitoring, has to tell you to put it on your face. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So people are adapting. Not one.
How many people showed up?
There was about 100 plus, maybe almost 200 people.
That's not bad for during the phase 2 or phase
on purpose.
Phase 1. Yeah.
On purpose like that. And people were messaging me the whole time like, oh, it's so dead, nobody went. I'm like, well, that's the purpose of it. It's supposed to look empty.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 50% limited capacity or something, right?
So the ballroom was huge.
Right.
But there was so many places to be spread out that it was, So that was one thing that was really good. And then, just the amount of people who are complying with it, Nobody's like, why can't I have it's over my face? Nobody did that at all.
Because I know that there are some in our community that does not believe in wearing masks. They weren't there, were they? They're not supposed to be.
They were just happy to be there at the first festival in a while, so they complied. If they were,
they won't be allowed. That's the case. Well, that's good. They did a great job. Then that's one of the things that festivals probably should be doing at least this year when the vaccine is not available yet.
Yeah, that was one thing, and it was a big risk, you know.
It's a big risk because were they allowed to dance with everyone?
Yes. The only thing is, you obviously you can't. You know how people just pull ladies to dance, like, hey, let's dance. You had to make eye contact. Like, would you like to dance? You can't just grab them. You have to like ask, and if they touch your hand and say yes, it's consensual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Interesting.
So it had to be like that, and everybody, yeah, everybody wore their mask and off the dance floor, take it off, drink your water at the pool party on the dance floor. Even though we're outside, if you're on that little dance floor, mask on. If you're off the dance floor, you're getting a drink, or you're at the pool, you're off. Whatever, you can do it.
Well, did people got into the water?
Yeah, people were swimming.
Interesting.
Not a lot actually. Now that you mention it, there's probably like about maybe 5-6 people in the pool. Everybody was pretty much dancing, and everybody would get there kind of late too. You know what I mean?
Well, I'd be curious to know as to whether somebody got infected during the festival or not. I doubt it.
I think we're all waiting.
What was the age bracket when the people that attended?
It was about maybe I would say late 20s to maybe 50.
Yeah, so they're young.
40.
Yeah, they're young because I know a lot of friends of mine who at their work area, whether in their daily job, there are people, their coworkers who got infected, blah blah blah, and then they get tested, they're negative. My wife, her employees, which she works closely with, 3 of them got infected, and she got tested 3 times and never got it. So I guess it depends on what is last night was calling me. It depends on I think your immune system, dude, whether your immune system is so weak that you could get infected just like that, just like flu,
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, yeah. So how did you start dancing, Vince? I know you and Hondo started early in the days, and I have to give you credit, both of you. Who came up with the Bachata Urbana first? I know you're a very big proponent of that.
Yeah. So we were, he went at his mom's studio. We were always messing around after doing little bachata classes and stuff like that. And that's when I started really getting into it. So I got into it a lot first because I was on Al Liquid Silver's team. And we did our first bachata, and I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
So at the studio one day after rehearsal, I started dancing and started doing my own little musicality stuff. And then he saw me and came up to me. He was like, yo, what is that? And I was like, oh, it's just my little stank on it. You know what I mean? My little thing.
Yeah.
And he was like, I need to do that. That was dope. So it started with me in the studio. Then he started to get on his, and he started doing his own style of it. And then we got so hyped into it that eventually, maybe 2-3 months after, or maybe like a few weeks after, we're like, why don't we perform at Stevens and start something new? Nobody's ever performed with urban bachata.
Yeah.
And so that right there was when it all started at Hondo's studio, from Stevens Steakhouse performance and the rest is history.
What music did inspire you to do the urban? Was it Toby Love?
No, it was more of Aventura.
Really? Oh, that's good.
They were the first ones that I heard who had hits in their music. So when I heard them, I was like, oh, there's a hit there. Oh, I never heard that before.
Yeah.
And then all the rest of them are very traditional. So it was very ongoing, which is perfect, but I liked something with that. And I was like, what if, because in high school, I was all about Usher and, they had hip hop, pop locking and stuff. Yeah. More pop than locking. But I got so into it, I was like, what if I incorporate this into my moves? And so he saw that, and then we did our thing at Stevens.
Yeah, and you both popularized it, and he popularized it even into the next level as far as, because I think he's been preaching all over the United States. You also had taught in Europe, and have you taught in Asia, also in Singapore, right?
Singapore, Japan, and I've also taught.
You guys did some really good work there. You and Joe Quinones.
We went to Ghana too.
Huh?
We went to Ghana.
Did you? How was that, dude?
So amazing. Everything was limited there because they're not as lucky to have a bunch of stuff like we have.
Right.
But the amount of love and support, bro. Like the way they see your name and they're like, oh my God, it's you, and you perform, you get on the dance floor, it's like, oh my God, and they're just so welcoming.
Yeah.
No, not that anybody else isn't, but I'm just saying like the way that it was because it's so they're less fortunate. A lot of them are less fortunate. You know what I mean? And the
Yeah,
person who
it's
brought
less
us
efficient, yeah.
did tell us that. You know, they're gonna be so in love with seeing you because they don't get to see this every day.
Yeah. You guys
So
didn't go to Malaysia when you guys were in Singapore? That was just a few hours away, man. By
I don't think
bus.
we ever did.
By
No, but
bus.
I did get hit up by somebody from Singapore saying they want to bring us back when this is all over. So I was like, all right, cool.
Awesome, yeah. Wait, who's the promoter? Gary?
Gary Fu was one of them.
Hmm.
He was the main one who brought us. There was somebody else who was there, but that wants to bring us, but I don't remember him that much.
You guys performed twice in that Congress, right? Or
Yes.
once? Yeah, one of it is a Michael Jackson routine, right?
Yes. No,
I
that
think.
was
That's a
no,
long time ago, man. But I can't forget the choreography because it was good, man.
that was in Japan.
Was that in Japan?
Yeah, we did "Don't Stop Believing" and Michael Jackson in Japan.
And then you guys did somewhere in France also.
Yeah, we did
Some
Le
performance.
Mans, and then we went to like okay. The crazy part about Le Mans, the first time we went to France was we went off of the promoter thinking I was still dancing with Shirley. He was like, "Are you still dancing with that little short girl?" And I was like, "No, I have a new partner now."
Yeah.
So that us getting over there opened so many freaking doors because there was like 6 promoters there,
Oh
and it
yeah.
was our first time doing something like international like that, you know.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, we went back like 8 times at least.
Yeah, I have no doubt. I had no doubt that the moment both of you expose yourself in Europe, man, it will open a lot of things because of the talent that that both of you had.
Yeah.
It was a great partnership, I have to say, bro. And to this day, Joe is still your friend. Your
Oh my
best friend,
gosh,
I
she's my
believe.
sister.
Yeah,
She's my
that's
better
good.
dance half for sure.
Yeah. Now, what made you decide DJing though?
Well, I was so into traveling and performing
Mm.
and people allowing me to play a little bit of sets, you know what I mean? Over there at certain places that I was like, what if I just started, playing at clubs in LA? Then I started at one club and then it was like, hey, you're pretty good. You should try coming at this club. And then somebody said, and then LA Bachata Festival was like, hey, why don't you come over here and try playing and DJing over here and this and that. And then it just started getting more and more. Pretty soon I started having more gigs and dance gigs or DJ gigs and dance gigs.
Yeah.
And then, obviously the money starts coming in. And you're like, I could do this, all the time, blah, blah, blah. And then it got to the point where I started to get more booked. And I was like, okay, well, let me do this and start stretching my hands out, blah, blah, blah. And I guess the more music that I had, the more songs I knew that weren't being played could have been played. And I was like, what am I doing sitting on all this music? I could be playing. And I think the one thing that stands out the most and the reason why I was like, see, those are the reasons why I did it, is when I'd see you sitting behind me enjoying the music at a festival. I'd
Yeah.
see George Elizondo dancing to the songs I was playing.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm doing something right, because if I wasn't, they wouldn't be here or wouldn't be dancing at all.
Yeah.
I know Rodney says until another 2 hours, so he doesn't have to be here right now. So that's one of the other reasons why I got into it, because I knew I had certain songs that a lot of people didn't have, and then after that, I guess that's what makes me special, because I have so many songs that are from the past and now that nobody really plays.
But I'm a believer on this. I don't know if you agree with me as a DJ for a long time, okay? Because I started DJing too, not because I want to be a DJ. No, it's just that I just want to play my songs that I like,
Yeah.
But what I learned is this: the style of DJing of a DJ is the way he dances, the way he interprets the music. Because when you DJ, it is exactly the swag that you have when you dance.
Right.
The flow, the selection of music, the timing of whether you're going to play something slow or you're going to play something fast, and the sensitivity of the audience was like, oh, they're having fun. I'm going to play something, it's the same thing when you social dance as a dancer. That's what I feel that a DJ that a DJ can have an advantage of if he is a dancer. Now, not too many people, not many dancers could DJ, of course, but that's my point, is that the way you DJ is the way you dance. I don't know. Well, how do you feel about it?
I can agree with you 100% on that. It is the way that if he's a dancer and a performer, and the way he DJs can be very similar.
Yeah.
Now, I think there's a difference between knowing what you know and knowing what your crowd knows too. You know what I mean?
True. That's
So
true.
even though I have certain million songs, I can't play every single one of them because I know that they might not understand it.
Right.
So I have to vibe off what they're vibing on. You know what I mean? So sometimes I do switch the swag up in terms of maybe I should play traditional because there's a lot of people that just got up to play traditional, you know?
Yeah.
So completely
Go
agree.
back to your dancing style, shall we? Because
Yes.
I like it. Obviously,
Better.
in Southern California, a lot of people like it too. You got some fans there. I know you have a live cast or podcast recently that you do, which is some things you may have seen or have not.
Yeah, things
Something
you
you have heard or might not have heard or something, right? And you were doing some solo dancing there. Again, how do you come up with those moves? Is it by feeling? It's just the way you feel?
Yeah, so that all started because we're in quarantine.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's nothing really to do but put content out, right? So
Same here.
I was like, you know what? Everybody's always told me, how did you hear that? I didn't hear that. So I said, you know what? Put the camera up, did my thing, and now the way that I got into it was, I know so many hits that are here, so many hits are there, that why not bring them together? You know what I mean?
Right.
So that whole thing happened, and I just I listened to the song like 10 times, even if I know it, just to make sure I'm hearing everything correctly. And then I'll go and call Arnie, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, Arnie, I need a videographer. And he'll be like, all right, cool. He has the weekend off, he comes. And then I just do it like 10 times on camera over and over again.
Yeah.
And then, so it's never choreographed.
Yeah.
If I did choreograph it, I feel like I wouldn't be as into it.
I agree.
Yeah. And I would be thinking more, you know what I mean? So everything is more just flowy. And if it looks good, I'll post it. If not, I'll wait a week and then work on it. And then, just keep doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
Mostly feeling, for sure. Mostly feeling.
Now, how do you, I know you and Joe had worked in several choreographies there. What was it like to develop a choreo with Joe Quinones?
You ever boxed before?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like that. So what you do is you put gloves on, she puts gloves on. No, I think what it is Joe has always taught me how to be more, look-wise, to look more as a professional dancer. I've always been street. So when I met Joe, she whipped me up in shape and made me that type of dancer. So for that, I can never not thank her for that, because I have to thank her for that. When it came to choreography, I would do things more that would be like, let's interact them. Let's make them come into the stage with us. And she'd be like, okay, we can, but we already did that 30 seconds ago. Yeah. I said, yeah, but I feel like we should do it again. And she'd be like, I don't think that's a good idea, Vince. And I'm using good terms here. I'm not saying what she actually said. But at the end of the day, I think my streetness and her classiness came together and was like, okay, let's find a balance, a happy medium.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's what made it so fun, is that it'd be like, here's you, bring you in, but then here's us interacting with each other, chemistry. Because obviously we can't perform just for you, because we're not doing a magic show here. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're performing, so we have to have some kind of connection between ourselves. So I think that's where we found that balance, and there would be fights for sure. You want to know the biggest fight we had was when we did the Michael Jackson one. Really? That was one of the best choreography ever. And that's exactly what I mean. See what I mean? I wanted one thing, she wanted another. And I thought, you're being repetitive. She's like, no, you're just being lazy because you don't want to involve. You want to just work with the crowd, bring the crowd in. And I'm like, no, I swear it'll work. And then she was like, you know what, fine, I'll do this, but you have to do this. I was like, okay, fine. If we do a move thing, then you have to put your arm out. All right, fine, okay, I'll do it. Yeah, and especially I like it, especially the transition from the slow part to from the slow part to the bachata part. The flow of transition there was good. Yes. It took me like a week to cut that. Yeah. Usually songs are like that. I cut them like in a minute, 20 minutes, but this one was a week to cut.
It's good transition. Now, I got to ask you this, and I'm going to have to take a wild guess also, because I think I know two individuals that influences you. Who influences you as a dancer? Not just that, I'm going to have to tie in the performance here. Who influenced you as a dancer, as a performer? Now, let me take a wild guess. Elvis and Michael.
Yeah, those are two big ones, big, huge ones.
Because I see it in your moves, dude.
Yeah,
I see
sure.
it.
For sure, Michael and Elvis. You know, I obviously there's actually a lot of dancers in our scene, in our world that I admire too. And I'm sure that I admire me. I don't mind saying them. But at the same time, those two, Michael and Elvis, I feel like they had they had a lot of energy. Of course, you have James Brown, you have all these other dancers, Prince, everybody. But I think I grew up with those, the most.
Yeah.
Well, I always try to put that in there, and
Yeah, you put it the way you move your head like this is like shit, and then the way you move your knees is like that's Elvis right there, man.
That's Elvis, yeah. A lot of it came from that. A lot of it came from what can I do to this guida sound that make me move, and if it goes, I'm gonna go my legs or my hands or something, So
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, if you ever book Vince as a DJ and you book him for the last hour, they're gonna be there until 7. They're gonna be there until 7, just jamming and dancing. That's because I've seen this in action in Palm Springs, and many times I've been there. They would do that, and it's one of the fun things because that's innovation right there. You're just feeling the music, and you come up with certain moves you've never seen before. Do you remember your moves?
Surprisingly, yes. Well, now I definitely do because I have the videos on social media.
Right.
But I kind of felt like when I did my last one, which reminds me, I got to do my next one this weekend. Now that I have these videos, I feel like I have content. So when festivals and congresses open back up, they'd be like, "Can you teach a musicality workshop?" I'll have a lot of content to go by. Yeah. And and there's people on. I don't know if you heard about TikTok, obviously. There's one person,
I'm not into it yet, but I've seen it.
There's one person who's actually duetted me and him. He got
really?
Put him on the side.
Yeah.
And did one of my things with like an ankle scratch.
Yeah.
And I was like, see, that's why. And he's in Mexico. I never met the guy. But see that, and that's why the reason why I do it. So I will forget so and so, but if I do forget a big move or something, I can just fill it in with something else, obviously.
Now let me pick your brain here a little bit about musicality, because I know there's many dancers there that love to dance, but yet they're still trying to decode or decipher that thing through music as far as musicality is concerned. When do you get influenced to do your thing, like, either you do a massive footwork right there, or you pause, or you take it easy? Is it in one song? Is it the pause of the song? Is it the speed of the song? What is it?
I think it's mostly there's a lot of things.
Right? Yeah. Whether instruments or whatever,
Yeah, recently now I've been listening to everything, and mostly the newest thing I've been listening to more of is lyrics. You know what I mean?
Interesting.
Lyrics are a big deal. Interpreting the lyrics in your actual dance is a big deal now. I mean, I've been doing it for years, but ever since TikTok exploded, hip hop songs, everything, everybody's been doing that. You know what I mean? So I think it's obviously has to be hits for sure.
Right.
Guitars, even sometimes bass, if it's noticeable.
If it's noticeable, yeah. Some of them are not.
Apps, you can hit those.
Yeah.
But little slow basses are not really that. You know. And obviously the guitar is one of the biggest things because everybody loves it.
Now, are you into stand-up comic comedians? Do you watch them?
You want to know a secret?
Yeah.
That's on my bucket list.
Really?
I'm so afraid.
Are you serious? You haven't been getting into them?
I'm so afraid to do it.
Really?
It's something I have to do before I die.
I am a fan of comedians. Their stand-up, their materials. That's how I got public speaking. That's how that really helped me teach in public in front of a lot of people. Because before I didn't know how to do it, but I just admire their flow and then their confidence. I mean, like, let's say there are some comedians there that does not even have materials.
True,
they just go there and they just flow. I mean, what the, how did you get into imitating people though? Because you're good in imitating.
There's one name, Jim Carrey.
He's good at it, isn't he?
That's the main person who got me into. I was like, who is?
But he is also a contortionist, though.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, his arm on the back.
Yeah.
He was the one. That was it for me. Since watching him, I have turned into the Grinch. I have done Ace Ventura. I have done all those.
Yeah.
So it's like he's the main. That's what got me into impressions, and trying to copy people like that.
Okay, give me some Troy. Give me some Troy right now.
What's up, sir? When how he talks like with the low end, low.
Yeah, it's the low end. Yeah.
You look good. You look good. Good.
And it's a little fast that sometimes it'll take your time to get the joke, right?
When he laughs like this, when he really came into laugh.
Because one of the unforgettable things that you and Joe did that we made you guys
we'll still talk about that,
dude. We can't help it. That's what was one of the best. Why? Because Troy was there. Because Georgette was there. And then when he came on the stage after your material, you and Joe, he didn't know what to say.
I was like, oh shit. He was like, Vince, you could have put he didn't want to mess up his hair because he actually has some.
Okay,
like,
one last one.
One
last one because one of the best imitation you've ever did. It wasn't Troy. It was Albert Torres.
Oh man.
R.I.P.
Rest in paradise, sir.
Yeah, give me some of that bits.
Man, let's see if I can try that. I haven't done this in a minute. Hold on, let me drink some more. Okay, I think I can do Una buia. Oh, yep. when we would perform, we performed in Japan.
Right.
He was like, give it up for Vince and Joe. And everybody put their hands up. They stand up. He was like, wow, standing ovation. And then I came out on stage. He brought us both out. And he was like, so how do you feel? How do you feel about performing in front of all these people? I was like, man, I feel amazing. He was like, you should with those pants. And I was like, I had the really tightest pants on. And he just looked at the crowd and was like, am I right? Right. And everybody was laughing their butts off. And I was like, I love you, man. I loved him. He was the one who got us there.
We became friends in his later years, actually. At one point he wanted to be a partner in Las Vegas.
I have a video of you guys in San Francisco when he went to San Francisco or Vegas. I think
he went to Las Vegas. He went to my festival, Las Vegas, yeah. But and he always invited me to RODCHATA World, so I appreciated him for that.
Yeah.
I like it because when you imitate, you exaggerate to a point that it's fucking hilarious. Like Albert was like, it is as if he doesn't want to be there. He's tired of it. Way it sounded. At one point, you imitated him where he fell asleep.
Yeah, I was like, I just want to thank everybody for being here. For 40 years, I've been doing this, and I just want to say that the children are everything, and I just think that. and then they made me do it at the LA Salsa Fest the year that he.
Yeah.
And I went. I was like, I could have done this better. I would have done this better. I was touching all the lights.
You'll always have that. You always have that. Oh, I could have done this. You'll always have that. In every performance. But Troy and Georgette imitation was the best, and Albert Torres was the best imitation, dude. I mean,
Zeke is pretty good too.
Oh, the Zeke one was good because even
there's no video of it. There is no video of it though. I mean, there's a clip, but there's no real long video.
You're right. No, I think there's a clip somewhere. I'll send you the link.
All right.
There is a clip somewhere about Zeke. You imitating Zeke.
He looks amazing now, doesn't he?
Huh?
He looks great now. Have you seen him?
Oh yeah, he lost a lot of weight, bro. He's been like taking care of himself and shit, man. I've been looking at his live videos and everything, and it seems like his studio reopened, and he's killing it in Chicago, so that's a good thing. That's another guy who never missed SFIBF. But yeah,
bulking up.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm still bulking up. I took a 2 weeks layoff because this smoke, dude.
Oh yeah.
I can't do my cardio, and it's just giving me headache right here, and it tingles like that. It's like, oh, it's the smoke, you know. I hate
Yeah.
it. Yeah. And so when that happens, I just stay home and I'm not doing anything, you know. So
Yeah. Somebody
uh,
asked on the question how many professional um, quotation or parentheses, i.e., instructors versus attendees went. Oh, I answered that earlier, Yanni. It was based on guy to girl ratio. So I believe there was about 80 to 100 followers and 80 to 100 leaders, which is why it
that's
was a
not
big.
bad.
It was,
That's not bad considering, dude.
yeah.
And I gathered that the promoter probably the hotel was easy on him because the hotel needs everything right now, anyone they can get. And
I would
so I
imagine.
gathered the promoter was a little bit, you know,
Probably. The
relieved.
hotel was really nice, though.
Yeah.
It was really nice, and the
Because
pool was
right now, I swear to you, I get a lot of emails from LA to even in fucking Europe, like Brussels. It's
yeah.
like, oh, we want to work with you, and we're not going to give you attrition. You know what that means, right? If you don't meet a certain numbers in the room, they're going to charge you for the whole thing.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah.
there's like no attrition. That means it's, you know, no attrition. You know, it doesn't matter if it's one person comes in, you're not going to pay. You know, it's like, yeah, but it's the pandemic. Come on. You know?
That's true. That is true, and that's why I'm like, it's crazy. And for me having my event like Bachatopia, I don't have to see that coming back anytime
Oh,
soon.
no,
Because I was way too many people.
I hope you could do it again because that's very popular in your area.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was way
Now,
too many people.
dude, so before pandemic, how were you doing in our industry as your career?
Oh,
Because I know that's your full-time gig, dude.
Yeah, I was doing them. I had a gig every night of the week, and then I had my twice a month Bachatopia gig, and then I left weekends free for festivals or certain outings here and there. But every day I had a gig.
Yeah.
Every weekend I had a gig pretty much too.
Yeah. Well, I, I don't know if we're gonna be fully restored next year.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
crossing my fingers, dude.
funny that it comes up because if it doesn't come back, and if it doesn't, I won't be surprised. You know what I mean? But I love cooking, so I'll become a culinary
Oh,
chef.
you got into cooking, huh?
Well, let's just say that I'm interested.
Oh.
I've always cooked, and I've always been into cutting hair to become.
Oh, really? So you got some other stuff, the talent there, dude.
Yeah. And then if anything else, yeah, if anything just goes, I'll find something else.
Dude, I didn't know you are into haircut. We could have done that in the festival where you have a corner.
I have never done it yet. I have to still learn.
It's like, we'll give you a corner here, Vince. Okay, now Vince, trim my beard. No, just kidding.
Yeah, exactly, right? Shave it.
So yeah, I recently canceled my Hawaii and then my Silicon Valley, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I was talking with the hotel, and it's like the hotel said we just can't do it because there's some restrictions. I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah, I think Arizona's kind of been flatlining a little bit. Like they've been, from what I've heard.
Yeah,
so
but
another reason.
Here's the problem, Vince. The problem is wearing mask.
Yeah.
And social distancing,
Let me tell you, throughout the whole parties,
yeah,
everybody was like,
yeah, we're talking about Arizona now, right?
But they kept taking the mask and like,
yeah, of course, dude, you're dancing.
And I was like, but they were doing it though. Like they got it. They understood it,
Like I got to tell you, I'm a member of 2 gyms here in Reno. One gym requires you to wear masks all the time. The other gym require you to wear masks to go to the front desk. While you're working it, you can remove your mask. It doesn't make sense. Dude.
That does not make sense at all.
It doesn't make. It's the same thing in the restaurant, right?
People also say, it's like saying there's no dining, or there's dining, but you have to keep your mask on. You walk in, but you have to take your mask off when you eat.
Right.
So it's like. But I get it. I'm just going with the flow.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that's the way you want to do it, they want to do it. But so when the vaccine comes in, are you willing to get vaccinated?
Well, to be honest, I mean, it sounds great because I would love to get back to my old life and stuff. But I don't know if I would do it right away. I think I would kind of wait a little bit. Look, if something happens to me and I die, like my son, that's all I think about. So I mean, either way, I'm compromised because, you know, I'm already considered high risk.
Have you ever done vaccine in your entire life?
Like, well, I've done the, when I went to Ghana, I did a bunch of vaccines.
Did you? Wow.
I did the yellow fever.
It's only one time I've ever done vaccine, and that was for measles. I've never done vaccine. I never get sick with flu. It's just me. Probably it's my genetics or something. You know?
Lucky you.
Yeah, you know. But what else is new going on? What, you know? I mean, like, how old is your kid now? Is it a boy or girl?
He's a boy. I'm a little disrespected. You don't know that now. And you know me.
I'm so sorry. 2
And,
years old, and I'm
know,
sure he runs around. So can you keep?
Oh yeah, he's great. He's healthy. He's beautiful. He's can't complain at all. He cries, and I love it.
Now, I'm going to ask you this question seriously about, there's a student, if there's a student who wants to learn from you, who wants to be an apprentice, let's just say, because of your musicality and your swag, I want to learn that, Vince, teach me. What do you tell them?
No. I was kidding. No. No, I mean, I don't think there's something, I don't think I could teach everything that I know. I think I could teach aspects and
you can't teach everything, you know. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be difficult. And I just think that the more what I can give is advice and pushing towards the right direction. It's like that saying, like, I can open the door, but you have to walk through, kind of thing. I don't consider myself the greatest dancer of all time. I consider myself talented. I consider myself to be able to do a lot and make people happy because of it. So I think in that aspect, it would be like, I'll show you pointers and you add your own funk on it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That's what Hondo did.
Yeah. Give me your top 5 bachata musicians of all time.
Top 5 bachata musicians. Man, you're putting me in a tough spot here.
I know because you're a DJ, but something you prefer.
Top 5 artists.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Romeo Santos.
Of course.
Damn. I have to put Toby Love in there because
he hasn't been kicking for a while, dude.
No, but because you know why? He's going more to the Lord now.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So he's putting out these last few songs, and he's gonna be starting his what's it called? Spiritual journey.
Interesting.
Away from that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram, so that's why I know.
Okay.
Who else? I got to put all of these in one category. Every artist that was in, no, not every artist. Romeo, Toby Love. God, there's so many. I got to say, I want to say Prince Royce, but he's a little later.
Yeah, he's considered a newbie.
Yeah, he's a newbie. There's so freaking many. I would say Grupo. I'll say Manny Rod. He has a really good voice.
Yeah.
Love Danny J.
Yeah.
God. Damn.
Danny J is a newbie also.
Danny J is a newbie. He came up pretty fast.
Yeah.
If we're going back, I would probably say. See, a lot of the bad thing about bachata artists is that a lot of them
extreme, huh?
With yes, extreme.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't put extreme there. He just probably forgot. That's why I reminded you.
I just said so many now. I'm trying to think of like old school. The problem with a lot of artists is that they only come out with 1 or 2 songs and then they stop.
Oh, like Johnny Sky.
Or I could have said Loitaidas.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Loitaidas, Johnny Sky.
You know?
Yeah.
And, so there's a lot. Obviously, I have a lot of respect and love for the traditional as well.
Of course. Yeah.
Before my time. And I got to say Frank Reyes, too, because you sing his song.
Yeah. God, I can't believe I sang that song, actually.
I can't believe I didn't see that.
Tú eres ajena.
I can't believe I didn't see that.
It was in Reno, man. Weren't you in Reno at that time?
I think I was, but I probably wasn't there.
It was at Reno Bachata Festival, but
everybody, you didn't make an announcement. You just did it on surprise.
Oh, we did it in secret.
Exactly.
Yeah, we did it in secret. But so, you know, you've been in bachata for a long time, even in the salsa scene. What have you learned?
Oh man, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot. There's a whole list. I think one of the main things that I've learned was to never think you're better and never compete with people. Because in the beginning, when I would watch other dancers like Christian Oviedo, before I started, the champion world.
That's a
champion
badass salsa dancer, bro.
All I could think of is, I want to look like that, and I
Yeah.
want to beat him.
Yeah.
Then I got to compete against him in a bachata,
Yeah.
in a bachata competition, and I lost to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think being humble. Obviously, it sounds cliche. Everybody says it.
Right.
And as a DJ, be nice. You know, it's tough taking people's requests. It's tough having to have people yell at you because you're playing too much of this genre.
Yeah.
This job requires a lot of patience. You know what I mean? You have to be able to be like, got you. And if you don't play it, be like, you know what? I completely forgot. I'm gonna write it down. Take a picture of the song on their phone. It means something to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. Do you find it frustrating sometimes when you're DJing in the club or even festival, people keep requesting songs?
If it's the same person, yes.
Yeah.
But I see it as part of the job.
It is. Here's one thing that happened to me one time when I was DJing. It's like, hey, do you know this guy? Blah, blah, blah. No, I don't know this guy. Do you have this song? No, I don't have this song. Oh, I have a phone. Can I give it to you?
Okay, yeah, that I won't do.
Oh, hell no, dude.
No, I can't do that. No, I will do that for sure. Will never do that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're a customer, you have to know the etiquette of requesting a song like that. You can't say, "Here's your phone." You can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. That's just. It's my birthday. I want this song. Give me the name of the song, and there's streaming services. I can get it and
Right.
put you on. Don't worry.
Well, here's another thing. They request a song, right? So you can't play it right away because you have certain sets, right?
Right.
So once you play it after 3 songs, they're not there.
Oh. And I'm like, where's the birthday girl at? Where's the birthday girl? Where's the birthday boy? Oh, he left to the bar or something. I was like, oh, so there you go.
Now, when you MC at festivals, do you plan your materials?
I just have to know the lineup.
Yeah.
And I have to know where it's okay to come in and add extra stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, I was just sitting there and all of a sudden you called me and Alejandro for push-ups. I know that was not rehearsed or anything.
That wasn't. But there was nothing to go by. You know, nobody had any ideas. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna mess with it. And then push-up challenge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who won that, by the way? Did you? I think you won that one.
No, he won it because he could go for more, bro. I was doing full range of motion. He wasn't, but I know he could go.
That
for
is
more.
true. You should see me. I could.
But
kill
he's
him.
very humble about it. He's just say, "Oh, thanks for stopping." You know, Hondo. He's a humble dude. You know.
He is. He's changed a lot over the years. Like, he's become very much into his into what he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Right now, he's planning to really compete. Or go into over 250 pounds. So he could do it because he's got the genetics, dude.
For sure.
He's one of the biggest Mexican I know.
The biggest Mexican, yeah, exactly.
Were you born in LA, bro?
I was born in Harbor City, California.
You speak Spanish?
I am fluent understanding wise. Speaking, I have a hard time.
Yeah.
But I can understand everything you're saying, and I can have a semi conversation with you. So I'm as they call pocho.
So after this pandemic, are you planning to have a weekly class or whatnot besides DJing?
I think I'm just gonna go as far as I can, as far as what I'm allowed to do. I think my biggest thing would be trying to have my weekly gigs back safely, obviously.
Yeah.
But the main goal, the big goal here is to be able to have my Bachatopia again.
Bachatopia is I have yet to go, but I see all of your posts, and some people in the Bay Area, tell me about it when they get to Bachatopia when they happen to be in LA, and so that's one of the things. And of course, if we fully restore it again, we definitely expect you at TSFI BF. Wifey loves you to be there.
One of the funnest day one.
I mean, it's can't go denying about it, but that's just the way it is. And what else? Oh, your websites. Where can they find you, or your Instagram?
Well, pretty much all I'm on social media right now. I'm on Facebook.com/Vince Torres. I have my Instagram, Invincible Official, which is also the same name as my TikTok, which I have all my content on. That's INVINCEABLE. So it's more sounds like Invincible.
Yeah, Invincible.
So
Yeah. And the things you may have heard or have not heard, does that have a website or it's on your accounts?
it's just on my social media accounts, on my Instagrams and my TikTok. Now, what I will be doing is after my 15th one, I think I'll start doing maybe instructional ones on how to like to start it off or do it. But kind of want to save those for when things happen, open up again, you know. But
Well, Vince, it's great chatting with you. I want to thank you personally for supporting my festivals. You know my failures and success, whether a festival is success or failure. You and Joe has always been there supporting me over the years, and I really want to thank you for that.
You're very welcome, man. I'm always loving. I gotta say, I respect you and love you too, because you were the one who sat us down, had our interview, and was like, "We got to get you here. We got to get you there. We got to get you here." You know what I mean?
That old interview, huh?
You made it. You brought us out too. So you're a reason why we became who we were too. So the support is real, likewise, and to and from. So respect, love, stay healthy, and let's just get back to it as soon as we can.
Yeah, as soon as we can. Well, thank you, sir. I will see you soon.
All right, man. Love you, bro. Take care.
Love you, brother.